Greetings, I am Herbert Erpaderp, and today we're going to find out what's in this box. Quite clearly the box is labelled German Tractor D8506 Mod 1937.
Who knows what that could be?
It's a 1/35th scale plastic model kit from MiniArt, so I would say there's a pretty good chance we're going to see some model tractor parts in this box, and for some, that knowledge might be enough. But for those who might be considering buying this kit, or who might just be curious, let's have a closer look at what's in the box. To start off, wheels. And as you can see, these are quite wheelie. It's kind of interesting that there are so many components to the wheels too. The instructions show 5 parts used in the front wheels, and it looks like there are 2 different outer wheel parts. I don't think I've ever seen wheels quite like these. Hopefully, they go together nice and easy. Next, we've got this sprue full of odds and ends, including what looks to be a very comfortable seat.
Was that some sarcasm, Herbert?
Yes. While I couldn't, for the life of me, identify most of these parts, I think they look pretty good. I guess you don't need to be able to identify them to know they look good. There was a little bit of flash on some parts, the worst offender being some of the wheels, but nothing too horrendous elsewhere, though there are of course mold lines. Mold lines are pretty well inescapable if you want to build plastic kits, that's just how it is. I don't anticipate having to spend too much time doing cleanup for this kit, but there will be some. There's a good amount of thin bars and rods and things like that, as you can see here, or maybe it's a bad amount if you're really against those things. I think they should be fine, as long as you're careful removing them from the sprues, and cleaning them up and handling them in any way, and looking at them. They shouldn't break, and the result should be some really nice bits of detail, and I think that'll be worth it. Not all of the parts are fiddly looking, fortunately, so I'm not expecting this kit to be too time consuming, though of course I have been wrong when saying things like this in the past. I guess it doesn't really matter as long as the parts go together well, and looking at these sprues, I think that's going to be the case. I've only built one MiniArt kit before, well, half built. I still haven't finished the MiniArt Valentine I started, I don't remember when. Valentine's Day 2020, I think? Get it? Because it's a Valentine, you have to do it on Valentine's Day?
You're getting off topic, Herbert!
Guess I am. Anyway, I've only got a little bit of experience with MiniArt, but it was good experience, and I have heard a lot of good things about them over the years, so I'm looking forward to putting this kit together. This is the final Opaque Sprue, and looking at them all, it looks like there's a good mix of big tractor chunks and small thin bits, and it's kind of making me think it's going to take a little bit longer to build this than I initially anticipated. That's okay though, it means there'll be more streams, and that's a good thing, right? There's no rush to get this built anyway. The hobby is meant to be enjoyed, and it's not a race, so it's best to do it at your own pace, so I'll take my time with it and enjoy the assembly process. There is still one more sprue, this clear plastic one, behind which you can see the decals, and I didn't take a separate picture of the decals for reasons. I've left them in the bag with the clear parts, and they'll stay in there until they're needed, mostly because I don't want to scratch the clear parts. They look good though. I'm not sure we're going to need that big windshield looking part, but it's there anyway. It must be for a different variant of the tractor or something. Here's a nice little MiniArt envelope. This contains photo etch. This is probably the most fancy way I've seen photo etch packaged. There isn't too much of this, and it looks like these are mostly simple bits that will be glued right onto the model without much in the way of bending. Bending being my least favourite part of photo etch. These bits should be fine and dandy, and even if they're not, they do look nice on the fret. The instruction booklet is pretty nice. It's a booklet to start with, which I like. If you've seen enough of my videos, you're probably sick of hearing me whine about non-booklet instructions. It is also quite big though, around A4 sized, which isn't really a bad thing, though it could get a bit cumbersome in my small workspace, but that's okay, I'll deal with it. The important part is that the instructions are well laid out, and as best I can tell, easy to understand and follow. I haven't built the model yet, so if there are any problems with the instructions, they're not yet known to me. I'm not expecting any issues, but if there are any, I'll mention them in the build video. The last couple of pages are painting and marking guides. I'm not sure if there are any physical differences between the two tractors depicted here, though if there are, the instructions would probably mention that. Either way, both look nice. And that's what's in the box. Quite a few tractor bits. Some of you probably know that I found myself getting quite into Farming Simulator, both 19 and more recently Farm Sim 22. And I have mentioned wanting models of farming equipment for a while. For some reason it's kind of hard to find plastic kits for things like harvesters or even tractors, but I did find this one, and I'm pretty excited to start working on it. And I will be starting on this quite soon, but I don't know exactly when. If you are interested in watching me put this model together live, my Twitch channel is where you'll be able to do that, and there's a link in the description. Keep an eye on the schedule there, and it will let you know when I'm streaming this. Drop by and hang out, and probably watch me drop several parts on the floor. Fucking carpet monster. Anyway, there will be a build video at some point after the build streams. Makes sense. So if you're interested in the build video, make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube so you can see that when it comes out. Obviously I can't give an exact date on when that will happen, but sooner rather than later, in the grand scheme of things. Before the heat death of the universe. Probably. I think I might be waffling now. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the comment section below. If you've not already done so, why not subscribe here on YouTube for free, or if you've got the means, and you want to help a Herbert Erpaderp do Herbert Erpaderp things, and see my videos a bit early, consider becoming a patron. You can find links to Patreon, and all of my other things like social media, in the description below. And as always, I shall return soon. So until then, be excellent to each other, have a nice day, and thanks for watching. Farewell.